It's a blessing to have you here with me tonight. Don't be shy.
Once upon a time in a mind bright and busy, there lived a little boy that zigged and zagged, who saw the world a little differently. As words zipped on by as fast as a speeding car, and it always seemed I was chasing after them in my wild imagination, sometimes tripping and the correlating sounds correctly, quite can't find the rhythm and jumble letters, words, pirouettes and sway in ways I struggle to pronounce. And at times, I felt I was a disappointment. I was insecure of myself. Thoughts in my mind were like fireflies, bright and wild, impossible to catch. They flickered in corners, dark through open windows, write stories across the walls in languages I could not decipher. A whirlwind of thoughts, a constant of noisy tides, where focusing was sometimes a struggle. Be difficult as catching slippery fish, while other times, laser precision. Everything just disappeared. Just me and the task at hand. I reach, I grab, it slipped through my fingers, but I keep diving in because in this whirlwind, I find colors others miss, connections others would never see. My mind is a mosaic piece scattered but shining, flutter from flower to flower, never sitting still for longer than the teacher to give the lesson. See, I was always chasing that next big idea. And reading stories, I dare not to read out loud because the letters like to play hide and seek, zigging and zagging letters, skipping lines, appearing right side up, tumbling down, twirl, twirl, twirling, two up, two down. Then it starts at the top to bottom, reading not right to left, or was that left to right? Third letter to last letter, circling back around to first and second, constantly confused, remembering consonants, rules by cheat codes to contra. But these X's and red circles only gave me infinity ass whooping. Jumping off the page, dancing in the margins, turning dog into God, and stars into rats. It was a secret game that was always tricky, never fun. The frustration builds up a relentless ism that paid a heavy toll in my journey to learning. Then a unique perspective emerged and lightened the way for the resilience. Blossom stronger, a fire start burning brighter inside of me. A world through different lens was poetry, truly a beautiful expression where raindrops appeared in rain, where rainbows appeared in raindrops, hearing music in the wind. My pen created images of worlds inside a single word. So if you ever, ever feel your thoughts zigging and zagging, remember, some of the best adventures begin with the mind that wonders and words that wiggles and play like dancers who refuse to follow the steps. So this ADHD, dyslexia, is not a flaw, but wild rivers that carve new paths, unpredictable, beautiful, and uniquely mine. Hmm. Dot, 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 dot.
This one, in love of it still being Women History Month, and this has to do with the homework. This one is called The Blueprint of a Woman. Before history wrote us in ink, we were already written in stone. Before kingdoms rose, women were already building homes. We were the architects of tomorrow, the heart and the breath of love after sorrow. See, a woman ain't just a person. She's a blueprint, a pattern, a plan, a promise that life will expand. We carry legacy in our bloodline veins, generations whispering courage through joy, through pain. From Harriet running through freedom in her chest like thunder, to mothers holding families together with the world falling right under. See, history remembers that battles men fought with swords and might, but women, we fought quiet wars in the middle of the night with babies on our hips, bills on the table, dreams barely stable. Yet we still move mountains. We still build fountains of wisdom and growth. Still held the future close like an oath, because a woman knows something the world forgets, that life ain't a straight road, it's the destination, bitch. You build step by step, brick by brick, scar by scar, prayer by prayer, dream by dream. And sometimes that road gets rough as hell, but we still show up fierce and supreme. See, women don't just grow, we transform. Storms in the storms turn broken pieces into crowns we adorn. We are daughters of the dusk and divine creations, walking manifestations of determination. We are the teachers, the builders, the mothers, the fighters, the quiet revolutionaries, the midnight writers. So when they ask what a woman is worth, tell them she's the reason that there is any fucking earth. Tell them she's the rhyme and resilience. Tell them she's the power and motion. Tell them she's the ocean. That's ocean. And history ain't just something she survived. It's something she drives, because every woman standing here tonight is not just a part of the story. She's the blueprint of the whole fucking glory. My name is Fire. Have you on that PA.
And it's called The Parts I Don't Show. Most people meet me after the storm, hair done, smile soft, voice steady like nothing's ever touched me. They don't see how loud it gets in my head when everything goes quiet, how I learned disassociation before I even knew the word for it, how to leave my body but keep the conversation going, how I could sit right next to someone and feel miles away and still say, I'm good. I wasn't good. I was just used to it. I've always loved with dedication, the kind that don't flinch, don't fold, don't leave when it probably should. I could see the best in people while they were giving me their worst. Call it strength, but it almost ruined me. Because I stayed through confusion, through inconsistency, through the slow ache of not being met where I stood. I kept thinking if I loved harder, if I understood deeper, if I just held on longer, something would finally choose me back. But healing don't come from being chosen. It comes from choosing yourself when it feels unnatural. And that part broke me open. It looked like silence I couldn't run from, like sitting with thoughts that didn't feel safe, like missing people and still not going back, like learning softness didn't mean access. That heart could be open without being available to everything that hurts it. And slowly, I came back to myself. Not all at once, but enough to notice I don't disappear anymore. I stay. Even on the hard days, even when my mind tries to pull me somewhere dark, I stay. So no, I'm not strong because nothing affected me. I'm strong because it did. And I'm still here feeling it and choosing to live through it anyway.
And I named this Manual for Becoming the Earthquake. Y'all better buckle up. Because I felt my soul creeping out as soon as you made that statement. Okay. Yeah.
I was taught to sit still like furniture remembers its purpose, to hold weight, to not ask questions of the bodies placed upon it. I was taught patience like it was a leash, tight enough to burn the neck, loose enough to pretend it was freedom. They said, wait your turn. As if time were a benevolent landlord and not a thief with skeleton keys to every locked door in my chest. But I have seen what is I have seen what waiting does. It salts the tongue until language forgets how to bloom. It hollows the spine until posture becomes apology. It turns whole people into punctuation marks, commas where there should have been explosions. So I stopped asking permission from clocks. I stopped kneeling before calendars that never learned my name. I stopped folding myself into shapes that fit inside other people's comfort. I am becoming a blueprint that redraws itself mid-breath, a foundation poured with the ashes of later, a refusal stitched into muscle memory. Don't tell me about change like it's weather. I have lived inside storms that never made the news. I felt lightning crawl up my throat and name itself voice. I have watched silence rot entire generations into ghosts that still pay rent in bodies that forgot how to live. So I made a decision. Not soft, not pretty, not something that you can hang above a fireplace and call it inspiration. No, this decision has teeth. It bit down on my hesitation until I bled purpose. I will not wait for a system to recognize me when I have already memorized my own pulse. I will not wait for doors to open when my hands have learned the architecture of breaking. I will not wait for permission from people who are still negotiating with their own shadows. I will be the contradiction that refuses to be resolved, the mirror that does not lie kindly, the disruption in rooms that mistake comfort for justice, because being the example is not a slogan. It is waking up every day and choosing to confront the version of yourself that still wants to disappear. It is dragging your doubt into the daylight and forcing it to introduce itself properly. It is saying, I see you, but you don't get to drive. You want change that becomes so undeniable that even resistance gets tired, become so consistent that doubt starts stuttering, become so rooted that storms have to reroute themselves around your existence. I am not here to be palatable. I'm here to be proof. Proof that cycles can be shattered with bare hands. Proof that legacy is not inherited, it is carved into the future with decisions that terrify you. Proof that leadership is not a title, it is the willingness to go first when your knees are still negotiating with fear. So when they tell you to wait, ask them, who benefits from my stillness? Who profits from my silence? Who taught me that becoming was something to postpone? And then don't answer them. Answer yourself. With action, with movement, with a refusal so loud it rearranges the air, because the world does not shift for those who watch it spin. It bends for those who step into its axis and dare it to keep turning without acknowledging their presence. So don't wait for change. Be the rupture. Be the rewriting. Be the moment history flinches and then learns your name.
It's a blessing to have you here with me tonight. Don't be shy, let the words speak for you.